welcome. Welcome to Homekeepers. So glad to have you with us today. It's a pleasure just to come into your life, wherever that might be. You know, it might be home, might be on your phone, it might be in a hotel room or something, but to be able to connect with you like this is just an absolute privilege from the Lord, and we're thankful for it. One of my favorite people here today, Dr. David Clarke, and I think the Lord has blessed us by having him on once a month. He's a Christian psychologist. And I was going through some emails this morning, and the continuing remark about this program is that we have such great guests. And a lot of you realize, you know, when I have Joseph Pippin on here, you're getting answers to questions about your estate and so forth, and your end-of-life issues that if you went to an attorney, you'd have to pay money for it. Well, it's the same way with Dr. Clarke. He can say things today that could save your marriage. Think about that. Or maybe show you where you could tweak something in your life a little bit, or maybe your parenting needs a little work on it. Well, I have an experienced Christian psychologist here today, and I think it would be great if you just listen to what he has to say. We are honored to have him on here every month. And Stephanie is going to, with Tiffany, Tessa, and Tristan, mother and two daughters, they're going to make some baked s'mores. She said they were just wonderful. So you'll have to convince me, because I don't like anything with marshmallow in it, but they're going to show you how to do that. And before we join them, though, I have an offer for you that I don't think you can refuse. Dr. Don Colbert is a very respected Christian MD and author and so forth, and he leans toward the, you know, really healthy lifestyle. And this book is available to you through Homekeepers for $20. I Can Do This Diet. Now, on the back of it, you'll see that it actually sells for about $25, so this is a great bargain. If you'd like to use your credit card, 1-800-229-0059 on your screen, and also the address, if you want to write to us, that's Homekeepers Box 6922, Clearwater, Florida 33758. I think that you will find a lot of help in this book, so I hope you'll take advantage of it. And right now we're going to join Stephanie and Tiffany, Tessa, and Tristan. Aren't those cute names? Okay, they're going to show you how to make some baked s'mores, so stay with us.
It is my favorite day on Homekeepers. I have special guests today. I have sisters Tessa and Tristan, and then I have their mom, who is the owner of My Happy Place, Nook and Cranny DIY workshop in Pinellas Park that you totally want to check out. They're our special guests today. Tessa and Tristan are going to show us how to make the most yummy treat. Like, I am totally doing this. Maybe tonight when I get home, I'm not sure.
It's very easy.
Yes, so Tiffany, you want to share with us
we'll
what
go
we're
over
making?
the ingredients real quick.
And then they're going to make it.
And they're going to make it. Why don't you tell them when we made this for the first time?
We made this in Ohio.
In Ohio, yep.
And I'm Tessa, by the way.
And this is Tristan.
And I'm Tristan.
Yes.
We went to Ohio to visit family like we do every summer, and one of our cousins made this for us. So
and you go for like 2 weeks,
we
right?
Go,
like
yes, we didn't go that long. We went for 12 days this time, but yeah, we
awesome.
usually go 2.5 weeks.
And you come back with goodies usually,
we
right?
go antiquing. Yes, it's a lot of fun. They particularly don't enjoy that, but
well, you said on that trip you were stopping at all the stores on the way looking for things, and I thought, what are you bribing these children with? Because if I were with you,
iPad time, and their Uncle Max was in the car.
Okay,
so that's always helpful.
Because I'm like, you'd be bribing me, and I'm almost 50, okay? Okay, so what are we making?
So we are making a fireless s'mores dip. So why don't you tell us what the ingredients are. Tessa, what do we need first?
Hershey's chocolate, my favorite.
Hershey chocolate bars, and she's not had any yet, surprisingly.
Yeah.
Tristan?
Marshmallows. And
graham crackers. Now we've not made it with these yet.
We not made it with Reese's Cups yet, but we're gonna try it.
Not today, but we think this would actually be a really good.
We could do half and half.
We could do half and half.
Okay,
yes.
let's do that.
Yeah.
Okay, so how do you do this?
So what's the first thing we do, girls?
You're gonna take your Hershey or your Reese's Cup, and since we have a circle bowl, we are gonna put it in a circle, but if you have like a square bowl, you can put it like all the way in and fill it.
Yeah, so we're gonna line the whole bottom of whatever your baking dish is. Go ahead, put yours in, Tessa.
And you don't even have to spray it.
You don't have to spray
Because
it
it
because
comes
you're
out
gonna literally be
gooey
scooping this
and
out with a
ooey.
spoon.
Yes. And it's not going to
Yes,
last
wanna-
long, I don't think.
Yes, no, it's not going to. So basically, you just line the whole bottom with your chocolate or your Reese cups.
I bet the cousins just all love this.
It was very good. Actually, there was just us
Why are you
three,
breaking
and then my cousin that's my age.
Oh,
And then they went to bed, and we were like eating it. So
we're on vacation and calories don't count.
exactly. Yes.
I forgot to break it.
That's okay.
It's
You can just
okay.
put them in there in pieces. There's no rules
This
when
is
you're cooking
so
with chocolate.
Super simple. This is a great one for kids.
And
I love
we
this.
did this. It was around the 4th of July
Put
when we
the
were up
Reese's
there.
in the middle,
Okay.
and then we'll put the chocolate on top.
Okay.
Oh, good idea.
We did it around 4th of July, but it was so hot.
Just whoa.
Okay,
Can I
you
eat it?
can eat it after we're finished. And it was so hot outside, and we didn't want to start
I'll
a
save it right
bonfire.
there.
Yes.
So
okay.
we did this in the oven. All right, so once
Perfect.
you get the whole bottom, we're going to just cover the bottom with
Yep.
the rest of these.
All right,
Then you move on
I'm gonna
to
take this one out of
Okay.
marshmallows. So let's start putting the marshmallows on top now.
But I
make
thought we
my
were gonna put the chocolate like.
Well, we got
Okay,
the
so
chocolate
now
in there.
marshmallows. So 2 ingredients for
That's it.
inside, and then
Who
just
bit
one.
that?
So you really only need.
I don't know. That does
3
look like
ingredients
somebody
total.
snuck in a little nibble on that one, so we'll put that off to the side. Never know with these kids.
And a nibble on this one.
I'm sorry, but I got to keep an eye on this one. I think.
Wow, who's nibbling?
All right. So,
When she's eating chocolate.
okay. So now we just line the whole top of it with marshmallows,
Yeah.
and that's
Oh,
literally it.
someone
You're
ate
gonna.
this one.
You're gonna.
I think maybe
Someone's
just some of them got
eating
stuck
I think
together.
some of them got stuck together
Yeah.
too.
Tessa,
You bake it at 450 degrees for 8 minutes.
someone
which
ate
is,
this one.
No, those are. I
Okay,
think
so
they're just
chocolate
smashed.
layer on the bottom, then you're putting marshmallows over the
just
top,
smashed a little bit,
and then you're baking it for 8 minutes
Yes.
at 450.
450.
And wait till you see how this comes out of the
It
oven.
literally looks like you toasted these over a fire.
You all are not ready for this.
I ate my chocolate.
Look at this.
So that's not a broil or anything. It's literally just a bake, and the marshmallows do that. So
Yes.
now,
So now we're
be
gonna
careful,
try it.
girls, because it's hot. You just
Yeah,
take
we're
your
okay
graham
now.
crackers.
Give Stephanie one.
Oh,
Oh,
thank you.
Stephanie one. And you literally
Careful,
just
Can I
hold on
show
a second.
them? Can I show them?
Yeah. So you literally
Okay,
just dip
So-
your.
Here we go.
So you grab your graham cracker and you find one, and then you just push it in
Oh my
and
goodness.
scoop it out.
Come on. Oh yes.
And then you take a big bite.
And peanut butter is good on this too.
Peanut butter's good, even though we don't know. We just are envisioning.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So that's what it looks like.
Oh, you guys. Come on. That's ridiculous.
It's so easy to make. It's scary. Yeah.
Okay. You can get this recipe, but I think you just got it. But we'll have it available for you just in case you want it on hand.
I wish they could smell it too.
Yeah, it's called baked s'mores. We love having Tessa and Tristan and Tiffany here. They're my favorite people. They're my favorite guests. And we'll be seeing them again soon. And we'll see you next time.
Well, it's a special day when we have children around here. I love it. We probably should have it more often. And of course, as I said earlier, it's always a good day when Dr. Clarke comes on. How are you today?
I am good.
Good. Heard you just moved into a new house. That is so
Yes.
thrilling.
No, it was awful. It was awful, Arthelene. It was a nightmare. I hate banks.
Women love. Might not be in love with the process, but we see the end game.
Well, we love our new home. God's
Yeah.
been very good to us. I told
Yeah.
Sandy, I'm going to die in this home. They'll carry me out in a bag. I'm never
You're not going to
selling.
move again.
Never.
No.
Never. This is it.
Well, I moved into a new one after my mom passed away, because she lived next door to me. You're not going to move away from.
No.
She loved her house, and I'm telling you, several times a day, I thank the Lord for my new home. And it's been 7 years, but I just
He took care
so
of you.
thankful. Yeah, so thankful. Well, we're going to talk. This is one great book by Dr. Clarke. I Don't Want a Divorce. And we're going to talk about that, but Before we get into it, I want to tell Dr. Clarke a story. Is that okay?
Sure.
I was in church earlier this summer, and a guest speaker, I believe his name was Dan Hall, spoke from a wheelchair.
Oh.
And much, much earlier in the year, had a freak accident, really freaky, and paralyzed him from the neck down.
Man.
And as he was preaching, he told the story of when he was about to get married. And he told the pastor, I want to write my own vows. And I never thought it before, but this pastor had great insight. He said, you can do anything you want at your wedding, but we don't change the vows. You can't improve them.
I agree.
And so I got to thinking of these slobbery, silly things you see on TV, and they're wiping their eyes saying, you're my best friend, and you make me laugh, and
But no death do us part. Oh, no, you won't hear that.
and you're my soulmate. And I kind of thinking, okay, he's not going to make you laugh all the time.
Not 24/7.
No.
No.
And you might not feel real friendly. You're my best friend. And then I got to think of the power and the finality of for better or worse, for richer or poor, sickness and health,
Yep.
to love and to cherish. I wonder if anybody thinks about that word.
That's a good one, too.
Till death do us
Yeah,
part.
no matter what. Yeah.
Now, see if you agree with me on this. I'm not a person who sees the devil behind every bush. But I think Satan got behind watering these vows down.
I think you're right. Oh, yeah, he's good. Because they sound nice and sweet and cute, but there's no permanence to them
Yeah.
at all.
And his thought was, my wife now takes care of me like she would a brand new baby. Because he's paralyzed from the neck.
Oh, my goodness. Wow. See,
There's where your vows
oh, yeah.
have to, or begin to have real substance.
Culture would give her a pass. Move on. The rest of your life, you're young, you don't have to. No, that's not what God says.
She's got a vow.
She does.
She's made a vow.
And she loves him anyway, I'm sure. You know what? That's right.
I would hope that many pastors would hear this, because this watered down stuff that they're saying to each other has no foundation, nothing permanent.
No, they're making it up on their own silly heads. Yeah, right. Go with the tried and true. Sandy and I did. We had all those things, and we said it out loud, and we're sticking to it.
And I told you this story once before. My grandson and his wife were married several years ago, and his daddy happens to be the pastor of the church, who's my son. But they had a special service where they called the married people up to renew their vows.
Oh, yeah.
And my grandson's wife, I think she put it on Facebook, she said, I said them before, but they really meant something this time. And I thought, that's true too, because all you're thinking about is your veil and your flowers. You're not thinking about what you're saying.
You don't have a clue what you're getting into.
And so here's another idea for pastors. Let's call them up and make them,
Yeah.
just review those. And
I agree. Every couple of years would be a good idea. It doesn't take that long, and it's strong.
And you deal with couples who did have these tough vows, and they need some help along the way.
They do. They get ready to quit when they see me. I won't let them quit.
And this is probably out of that experience. I don't want a divorce.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to put Dr. Clarke's website up, and you can get this book. I certainly recommend it. Anybody, if your marriage is in trouble, but also any pastors or church leaders and all. Those who, do you know the percentages of wives who really want to save the marriage, or husbands? Have you ever figured that out in your own practice?
In my experience, it's still far and away the wives want to save it and the men want out. It's starting to narrow somewhat. I'd say it's 70-30 still, though. That the wife's desperate to save it, husband's done. And it used to be 90-10, now it's 70-30. So you can see it go the other way, too.
Can you explain why?
I think women are just much more into, they're caring, they're compassionate. I think they take the vows very seriously. And women can deal with a lot of pain, a lot of discomfort. Childbirth comes to mind. I mean, my goodness, Sandy went through, ow, it really hurts. Anyway, so they're just more likely, and I think they tend to be, all things being equal, more spiritual, closer to the Lord, and they take it seriously.
And they don't want their nest ruffled.
Exactly, and they know how it's going to devastate the kids. Moms always know that. Dad's not quite as into that, so yeah, they'll hang in there.
Do you think that's true of all cultures?
Boy, good question. I don't think so. In some of these, I come across some of these people from foreign cultures, and it seems to be a little different. Although the women are still hanging in there, but yeah, it doesn't seem to be quite the same. I don't know.
Well, some cultures allow the men to play around on the side, that it's accepted.
Right. We had a South American situation, a few months ago. Yeah, and the woman was okay with it.
Yeah.
I was sitting there thinking, what universe am I? I couldn't work with him. I said, that's a big deal. It's a big deal to God. I don't care where you're from. God love you, but we're going to have to work through what He's doing. No, we had some other issues to talk about. Well, that was ridiculous. Built-in mistresses, that's okay.
Yeah, I think I encountered that once. A missionary told me that some of that's in France.
I think everything's in France.
Yeah.
Well, I understand.
It could be.
Yeah.
Okay, in your book you discuss a progressive breakdown of a marriage. How do you define that?
Well, we all start off with, falling in love, everything's wonderful, we don't know what we're getting into. Now, we're really in love. It's infatuation. It's not the real thing. That comes through problems, and after the breakdown, you build that. But people don't know that. So, once you live together, and what's interesting is couples that live together before marriage, which they shouldn't do, of course, that's sinful, but they do, even for them, when they get married, there is a decided difference afterwards. So you're not learning really anything when you live together because you're not really in it totally. Communication problems start happening. Conflict, of course, begins to occur on a pretty regular basis. You're driving me nuts, and our families clash. All kinds of family issues come out. And then you go and have a child. Now you're in trouble. I see couple after couple, young couple who can't, the adjustment to that first child is just...
Really?
Oh, I saw one just recently, last week. Oh, the guy's not doing well with it.
Yeah, but is the wife ignoring the husband now that she's got the child?
Exactly what happens. Sandy did the same thing. I'm saying this on your television show. She did. I gave her a break because it was my first child too. We got through that, but all of a sudden it's not about you anymore. And so the mom has to now balance, and the dad too. Dad's got to step up and do a lot more stuff to give her a break, and so she has energy. But it's a few months of at least 5-6 months typically of I need to keep this baby alive, and I'm a mom for the first time. A lot of them don't come back from that.
Well, I got a message for the wives watching. Don't ignore your husband just because you had a baby.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Sandy, she'll hear that. I think maybe she'll
Well,
respond.
since all your kids are grown and out of the house.
Too late now.
Caught it just in time.
Oh, she's into the grandkids.
Yeah. No, I can see where there'd be a natural tendency and all, but she ought to keep in the back of her mind, I didn't have this by myself.
Well, right. It's crazy how the product of your love can destroy your love if you don't keep your coupleness. Going out, having time in the home, not running to the kid every time it cries. I mean, I'm trying to teach these young couples some tools. Otherwise, they're going to lose their marriage.
Well, it's not only that, but when a husband and wife who are parents really love each other, and that is on display, they're giving that kid the best psychological help he'll ever have.
Boy, that's the truth.
That
Security,
it
stability.
teaches them about sex. It teaches them about faithfulness, and so basically, in your work, you have to tell them that the couple comes first, and then the kids.
Right. I'm always preaching that, and they've got it backwards. The couple that lets the child sleep in their bed, for years, and there's only room for 2 of you in there. Does your child have a room? Well, yeah, never uses it. Get the kid in the room. And it's the same bedtime every night. That's not for the kids so much. They need their sleep. You're trying to build a marriage. People that go through these elaborate bedtime rituals, with Timmy and Susie, and it takes 2 hours, and you fall asleep, not the kid. I mean, it's just, your spouse is downstairs or down the hall, and you're not connecting. Yeah.
And we need to add that the father should help a little bit.
Oh,
with
yeah.
the child
Could
and
be
all.
right in there.
Yeah. Okay, you talk about other things in the progression. Hormone-driven passion is gone in about 18 months.
Yeah, that's all you get, right? Now you have to build that passion the way God wants you to, which is communication, handling conflict, doing romantic things, having God at the center of your marriage. Now that will produce a deep romance and a deep passion. That's actually better than the hormone stuff. But we don't know that. People don't know that. And so when you lose that feeling of being in love and infatuated, you could be in trouble. Many couples are.
I think you should speak to big groups of singles. They need to know this ahead of time.
Boy, they do. I've done a little of that. But that's all about finding my person. Well, that's important. But yeah, when I do the singles talk, it's all about this stuff. Here's how you build a relationship.
Yeah, after 18 months, you're not going to feel so.
I guarantee you.
Driven.
They think you're nuts. I'm here to tell you, no. I was crazy about Sandy, and I still am. But it's in a different way now. We have been through some hard times. We've worked on things. I'm more in love with her than ever, but based on real changes and skills.
Different kind of passion, isn't it?
It is. It's better. You can't keep
Yeah.
it up more than 18 months anyway.
Yeah.
It's too much.
Yeah, yeah. Also in this progression, and if we don't get it all finished, we'll get into it next time. Okay, this is a good one. The male and female differences begin to annoy.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's putting it mildly.
I can hear the viewers saying, boy, is that ever true?
Oh, man. Sharing a bathroom, for example,
Mm-hmm.
that becomes a real problem. You probably don't know this, Arthelene, but women have a lot of stuff, a lot of
Really?
things that they have to cram into a bathroom. Are you aware of that?
Only on Homekeepers do they get that kind of information.
How many bottles of stuff does one person need?
I saw one time a guy has like 3 things.
It's true. I got my deodorant, I got my toothbrush. I mean, really, my lens.
Ready to go.
That's it.
Yeah.
But you have to understand that it's a whole operation for Sandy. She's beautiful, but I say, you don't have to do that. No, she's got the whole operation here. But it takes up all the counter space and all the drawers. That's not fair.
Right. That's true. That's not. But see, if you had a great big singles venue you were speaking to, you could tell them this ahead of time.
I could head them off at the pass. I know.
Yeah, and we know that they'll run right past it. But when they do get married and they're in it, they'll say, "Oh yeah,
It might
I heard
stick.
that. I can expect that."
Yeah, because I can tell them what they can look forward to.
Yeah.
After 35 years, I know.
Okay, and you say romance and affection is down and sex infrequent.
Oh yeah, that happened. It's almost universal. Used to be so important, now it still is, but since there's a breakdown, now especially the woman, men can have sex no matter what typically, but the woman cannot do that. Not made that way by God. I have to feel close to you. You got to care for me. I need time with you. Well, the guy doesn't care about that. He comes home at 8 o'clock or 7:30 or 6, whatever it is, and spends some time with the kids. Doesn't give her the time of day, and then when she comes to bed, he's patting her pillow. Well, it's your lucky night, sweetie.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, she's like, are you talking to me? I have not connected to you. Becomes a problem. So they have to learn, how to you prepare for sex. A day or two leading up to it, those days are critical for connection and spiritual intimacy and helping with the kids. All that's prepared. It's really foreplay. It's preparing you to be together. But couples don't know that.
Yeah, and so it becomes infrequent. But if you have the knowledge, the Bible says, "Good understanding giveth favor."
Yeah.
Good, and so you're giving us some okay, and this is really, I think, key. You say they avoid conflicts by avoiding each other.
Yeah. See, that's what happens. We don't do well talking. It doesn't go well. You get upset. I walk away. And so let's just not do that. That's the worst thing you could do, because now we're not talking at all. And everything's building up and we're pulling apart. Satan is not going to miss an opportunity. He never does.
So we got a Mexican standoff here.
Right.
So say there's some wives watching right now, and that just kind of really rang a bell with them, that we're kind of avoiding each other. What can she do? Because he's not watching right now.
No, she's going to have to get his attention. I would schedule a meeting with him. Now it's low key when things are good, and you want some time with him, and you can begin to explain. Look, we're avoiding each other. Now, if there's a sexual issue, you can always bring that up. That'll get his attention. I don't feel as close to you. and romantically. And I've heard a guy on Arthelene Rippy's excellent show, and there's a way to choreograph our conflict so we can talk through things and it can be successful. I'm always teaching couples conflict skills. They're simple, but nobody knows them growing up. No one's taught that typically. So to learn those things, we can now work through issues. And what you're offering the man is respect and honor and closeness and a better romantic life, all the things that hopefully he wants.
You said something that kind of stood out. Start out with some honor and respect.
Yeah, for a guy, that's critical. The woman stops doing that because, of course, she feels upset and she's angry with him and she's losing respect for him. Oh my goodness, when that happens to a man, now we have a real problem. So we have to have the discussion to talk about it honestly. Now, it's not going to be just one talk. It'll be 5-10 minutes here, tomorrow, the next day. We have to kind of chip away at this, and then we can figure out a plan.
But when you have a Mexican standoff, somebody needs to kind of step up to the plate and not do it in a combative
way.
Right.
And it's going to be the woman. I mean, let's just be honest here. Typically, 95% of the time, it shouldn't. It should be the man. He should be the leader. Well, he's not reading the same Bible I am, or he's just not into it, and he doesn't want to talk. And she's better at talking anyway. So the woman, I write a lot of the books geared for the woman because they read books and buy books. Who cares about the man? So, but if you approach him the right way, he's a good guy. He loves you. He's not a bad guy. If he's a dirtball, I have a different book for that. But this is a good guy. He'll engage, and you can now start to. So you have to approach him with respect. You don't feel like it, but you have to.
And you know what I've appreciated about your business, it's a ministry really, is that it's so biblically based. It is a sound. I've read many of your books. It's absolutely sound. You make no room for, any little variances in culture. Whatever the Word of God says, you go with that. So I set that up to say this, that if there are gals watching right now, and there's a kind of a Mexican standoff going on in their house, the Holy Spirit will help you do it right.
He will. He absolutely will.
Ask Him to help you.
God loves your marriage. It's sacred to Him. No matter how bad it might be, He's going to help. It's a great prayer. Help me. Give me the words.
He will give you the words, yes. And we are out of time. Sorry about that.
Yeah, that was quick.
He'll be back next month, and we're going to continue talking about this book, I Don't Want a Divorce, because I think there's a lot of people out there who are considering it, but they really don't want it. And the good news is the Lord can help you put it together. It would be better than it ever has been. Join me next time, remembering there's no higher calling than that of a homekeeper. God bless you.
If you should miss a Homekeepers program, you can catch up by going to www.ctnonline.com. Click on CTN Programs and then on Homekeepers.